So, for part 2, we're going to be talking about the FPV system. So, first part of an FPV system is a camera. So, this one here, I think it's called like a 3-gram micro camera. I got it from Banggood. I think I only paid like 13 Canadian pesos for it. It's really light. I weighed it with the rest of the wire. I cut it off. With the rest of this, it's 3.3 grams, so this should be even less. So that camera, it's pretty good. It comes with a wide-angle lens, nice and light and cheap. So next part is this over here, which is going to be your video transmitter. So this piece of wire that I've soldered on here is trimmed to the right length, and that length is 12.92 millimeters. What this is, it's just the antenna for the 5.8 gigahertz signal. So this is linearly polarized right now, but I still haven't gotten my circularly polarized one in the mail, and I'm not quite sure if I'm going to use it just because it's so light. So what you're just going to do, get a piece of wire, trim that to the right length, and solder it onto the ant pin. There you can see ground, ant, ground. So these 3 pins over here, CS1, CS2, and CS3, that's channel select 1, 2, and 3. So by grounding either one of those, you should be able to get 7 channels. So you can choose from 7 different channels. And yeah, but I'm just going to leave them all disconnected right now. So next thing you're going to want to pay attention to is the pins on this other side. So you have ground plus 5 volts, another ground, A 6.5, which is going to be the audio, and V in. So the camera, you have 4 wires coming from it. The white one's audio, red is plus 5 volts, yellow is video, and black is ground. So I'm just going to solder those up together, and I'm going to give it a test. Okay, so that's that hooked up to 5 volts. No smoke has come out yet, so hopefully everything's working. I'm going to go turn on my video receiver and see if that works. And that's definitely working. So this is just the Quantum V1 kit, but this is just like a 4.3 inch car backup screen, whatever. RC382 receiver. Now I'm using a circularly polarized antenna on it with a linearly polarized transmitter. So there's definitely going to be a signal loss of, I think it's roughly 3 decibels. But I mean, you're just going to be flying this inside anyways, but that's definitely working. Awesome. So finally I've got my 5-volt boost module in the mail, and it came in a pack of 2. So this USB is definitely way too heavy to put on the quad. So right now I'm in the middle of taking off the USB, and the capacitor fell off. So I'm going to have to resolder that, but I'm a professional, so that won't be too difficult. So now I finished desoldering it, and I just cut the circuit board where the USB, like the side parts of it for stability were. But I left the connections for power and ground. I just cut it with a Dremel and a diamond disc, and yeah, that's that. So now I have it connected to 3.3 volts, and it works. You can see those 4 holes there. On the outermost pads, the top one is the positive, and the bottom one is the ground. So yeah, that's great. I'm going to hook that up to the camera system, because before I was having trouble with a lot of noise coming from the motors. So I'm going to shorten those wires, connect that to the camera system, and I'll give it a try. And that's 2.3 grams, by the way, right now. It's definitely going to be less when I take out the wires. So here's the boost module. I've soldered some wires to it. That feeds into the VTX, which also feeds into the camera. So hopefully that should be working, and that'll filter power as well. I'm just going to have to get my quad, and then I'll solder it onto the main board, and I'll give it a try. So now I've soldered it to the main circuit board over there. Leads going to the VTX and to the camera. So now I just have the hot glue gun warming up. I think I'm going to put this over here, probably put that VTX over here, mount the camera up front. So let's see how it goes.